What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again to talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide and one of the biggest Alabama haters, Danny Cannell. Danny Cannell is a college football analyst, former Florida State quarterback. He hates the SEC in general, but he hates my Alabama Crimson Tide to the core. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe because every time my Alabama Crimson Tide face those Florida State Seminoles, which is not often, my Alabama Crimson Tide whoop that ass all the damn time. Or maybe it's because Florida State's time has come and gone and my Alabama Crimson Tide is still relevant. I can't figure out which one of them is it. But hey, it is what it is. I know Danny Cannell hate my Alabama Crimson Tide. Danny Cannell, he was relishing over the fact that my Alabama Crimson Tide lost to Michigan in the playoff last season. He was happy about that. He was relishing in it, almost threw a block party. He hate Alabama just that much. And it goes back a long way. Him and former quarterback, Alabama quarterback, Greg McElroy, then had heated words about his negativity, about Danny Cannell's negativity towards the SEC and specifically my Alabama Crimson Tide. But let's get on and talk about what Danny Cannell said about the 2024 version of Alabama football under Coach Kalen DeBoer. Danny Cannell said on yesterday, I don't think they are a playoff team. Talking about Alabama. I don't think Bama has looked like a playoff team. I don't think their resume is deserving of a playoff spot. It needs to be a big win over LSU where it looks impressive. I get it that they got things back on track versus Missouri, but that is a Missouri team that was one of the most overrated at the beginning of the season. Missouri got absolutely boat raced against Texas A&M earlier in the season. For me, it's about getting Jalen Miro back in the comfort of this offense, being able to get the running game going. All things they did against Missouri. All things they did against a weaker opponent. But now they have to do it against LSU. And if they do that, I will give them a slither of a chance. I don't think their resume stacks up as good as everyone thinks. Well, that's your opinion, Danny Cannell. And he made sure to put to say Missouri was a lesser opponent or weaker opponent. Well, that may be the case. But as I recall, Missouri came into this game as a ranked opponent. And guess what? Even though they got their butt whooped, I think they still in the top 25. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they are at number 24. So, just because you think Missouri was overrated at the beginning of the season, that don't mean a hill of beans. The people who ranked these teams didn't seem to think so. Now, if we go out and beat the hell out of LSU, you're going to say LSU is an overrated team simply because it's Alabama. That's about to give them an L. Mr. Danny Cannell, your hatred of my Alabama Crimson Tide is getting in the way of reality. The real reality is that my Alabama Crimson Tide is still a playoff contender until they lose another game. And you say their resume don't stack up. Well, as I recall, it was my Alabama Crimson Tide, which is the only team to beat those Georgia Bulldogs, in which everybody thinks or seems to think that the Georgia Bulldogs might possibly be the best team in the nation right now, even with one loss to my Alabama Crimson Tide, I might add once again. Come on now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Mr. Danny Cannell. I know my Alabama Crimson Tide got 2 losses. I know they lost to Vanderbilt. I know they lost to Tennessee, both by single digits. That's neither here nor there, but they both lost. But in the state that college football now, you can have two losses and get in the playoffs. Some teams maybe can have three. But that's not my Alabama Crimson Tide. If my Alabama Crimson Tide win out, I'm quite sure they will be in the playoff, whether they blow everybody out or they don't. I don't feel like they need a blowout win against LSU, even though I would like to see it. I think if they just go out and win the game and win on out, they'll be in the playoff. Because if you remember, last season, 14 playoff, my Alabama Crimson Tide had a loss, and they barely got by Auburn. And they had a couple of other close games last season. But guess what? They still got in the playoff. And lo and behold, it was over your Florida State Seminoles, Mr. Danny Cannell. That's another reason that you got so much animosity and hate, when it comes to my Alabama Crimson Tide. While your team out there doing what they doing, just at a worse rate. Do Florida State have a playoff resume? I think not. You got one measly win. One. Every other week your Florida State Seminoles done touched the football field. They done got the doors blew off their ass. Mr. Danny Cannell, maybe you need to suit up and try to resurrect that dead ass program. Because they, as Nick Saban would say, dead, buried, and gone. That is Florida State football. And the people you should have the animosity and the hatred towards is Florida State's AD and president for giving that bum of a coach y'all got, Mike Norvell, a damn raise in the offseason. That's who you should be mad at. If you so in love with your Florida State Seminoles, go help them out. Go help them out. Because they are irrelevant when it comes to college football. Just like your football career, Danny Cannell. Just like your football career. And another reason I think you might have so much hatred toward my Alabama Crimson Tide is because you see all these former Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL being successful while your NFL career was a bust. You was null and void in the NFL. Shit, Danny Cannell, you ain't won shit since 1993. 30 years of mediocrity. That's what you are, Danny Cannell. Your Florida State Seminoles ain't won a damn thing since Jameis Winston. You missed your year last year because y'all seem to have something in common with threes. Danny Cannell won a national championship, college football national championship, in 1993. Jameis Winston won, I believe, was it 2013. You missed your year last year, which was 2023. You almost had it. But guess what? The football gods deemed my Alabama Crimson Tide was a better team than your Florida State Seminoles, even though your Florida State Seminoles was undefeated. That's why you mad. You was undefeated and still couldn't get in the playoff over my Alabama Crimson Tide, who had one loss. That's why you really mad, man. Well, right now, today, that's why you pissed off. That's why you mad. That's why you was relishing in the Alabama playoff loss against Michigan last season. That is why. While all y'all doing is whining and crying, just like you doing now, Danny Cannell. Your face should hurt from all the crying you've been doing and still doing. Don't hate on my Alabama Crimson Tide because they better than your Florida State Seminoles. Matter of fact, what happened the last time my Alabama Crimson Tide faced your Florida State Seminoles? I'm sure you remember, just like I do. Alabama tapped that ass. That's what they did. And we will do the same with Coach Kalen DeBoer. It won't be no different. It won't be no different. And I believe that we'll be playing each other pretty soon. Pretty damn soon. I need to see when it is. Maybe it's next year. Let me see. I believe it's pretty soon. But hey, it is what it is. It don't matter when it is. My Alabama Crimson Tide gonna tap that ass. Yes, we play you next year, 2025. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're gonna give you another reason to cry, Mr. Danny Cannell. I promise you that. I promise you. Because your program, like I said, is dead, buried, and gone for the foreseeable future, especially under Mike Norvell. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I believe we play y'all game 1, maybe. Game 1. So, just like this season, next season, you're going to start your damn season off with an L, just at the hands of my Alabama Crimson Tide. And we'll probably give you a good old-fashioned butt whooping. Even former Alabama Crimson Tide players couldn't even help your Florida State Seminoles. DJ Ungulele tried to come in and help you. Even they couldn't help you. Your Florida State Seminoles and Mike Norvell made them even worse. Well, they weren't bad when they got there, but they damn sure look bad now. All of them broke up. I mean, damn. Ever since Jameis Winston, Mr. Danny Kanell, your damn Florida State Seminoles been a poverty program, a bottom of the barrel program, a less than average run of the mill program, a dumpster juice program. That's what they are. Nothing more than a damn shit show, a clusterfuck. That's what they are when it comes to college football, probably in any other sport. So Danny Kanell, stop hating on my Alabama Crimson Tide so much, because they don't deserve it. You hate them because they're relevant. Who hates a relevant football team? You might can go in on their fan base, but to say my Alabama Crimson Tide, if they run the table, they wouldn't have a playoff resume. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Or are you dumb? Which one? Probably both. You can't blame my Alabama Crimson Tide for who they are. All right? But you can blame your Florida State Seminoles for who they are. See, Danny Kanell, you part of the problem with college football analysts. You want to show your damn bias too damn much. You can have Florida State out here with 3 losses right now, and you will say they got a daggone playoff resume. Or 3 losses right now and win out, you will say they should get in the playoff. And you know the ACC is probably the easiest conference it is, or one right behind the Big 12. So yeah, you got 2 teams in the ACC right now this year, Clemson and Miami. That's it. Clemson and Miami. That's it. Everybody else basically is irrelevant. You might have one more team in there, I don't know. But it's basically irrelevant. And Florida State, talking about coming to the SEC, you better stay your ass right where you at. Stay right where you at. Because if you was in the SEC, you probably wouldn't have that one win that you got. You think you're damn no-win team in the ACC? You'll definitely be a no-win team in the SEC, because you definitely will get the brakes beat off you week in and week out by double digits, 20 or more. No doubt about it. So Danny Kanell, you can keep hating, you can keep crying, bitching, whining, moaning, whatever you want to do. But the fact of the matter is, your damn Florida State Seminoles is irrelevant if my Alabama Crimson Tide is going to keep doing what they do. Roll damn Tide.